Welcome back. I'm Danny West with In-Depth Physio. We're back with another episode of the SOAPBOX, the Dance Teacher Series. And today I thought I'd switch it up with more of like an interview style, and no better person to start this off with than one of my best friends, Miss Alia.
Hi, I'm Miss Alia. I have an MSc in Dance Science and Research, and I've been a competitive program director at a studio for the last 10 years.
Awesome. Yeah, so we were chatting the other night on the phone, which we usually have like 3-hour catch-up sessions, and we were talking, we were getting so passionate and heated, and I was like, wait, this could be a soapbox. So we kind of like made a mental note of our conversation, and we're here to talk to you today about a few of these topics. One in particular, it is registration season at dance studios right now. So we wanted to take some time and talk to you, not only as teachers, but also to the dance parents out there. What are some things you should look for when you're thinking of maybe transitioning studios or your kids just starting dance? What are some things to ask for when you're looking to register your child at a studio?
Yeah, I think first off, it's okay to ask questions. Like, we love when a parent sits down and likes to know more information about what acro program are we doing, what are our training in that, and ballet, what do we offer for examinations, jazz and tap, all these different styles. And I think it's great for us as teachers to be able to say, yes, we have this certification, yes, we have this training, this person's certified in first aid, this person has their full fitness certification as well. I think it's really important that teachers, are educating themselves. We're dealing with young, developing humans. We want to be able to offer them everything we can.
Well, it was interesting, Alia, you were talking about how when we are looking at teachers' bios, there's more, or there should be more to a teacher than just what's on paper in terms of like certificates. And don't get me wrong, this is a huge thing that a lot of young teachers out there don't have, and it should be highly respected if they have an RAD certification. Any piece of paper that says they are a certified teacher in Cicchetti or Vaganova, these are just different types of ballet certifications that are highly sought after, and very, kudos to these teachers that go out and take the time to get these. And that should be kind of the number one thing definitely to look for, is what teaching certification, or do they have any syllabus teaching that shows, this teacher went out, did this training, and they know extensively this syllabus. So that's number one.
A syllabus gives the teacher a tool to say what step comes first. What is their foundational step? How does that step progress into the next level? It gives the teachers kind of an order to teach the steps in to lead to the greatest kind of growth and development.
Yes, there's definitely a method to the madness. You want a teacher that gets those stepping stones and has been trained to lay the foundation first and then knows how to progress your child from there. But also saying that's not only the one thing that you should be looking for. So there's more to researching studios and teachers than just the syllabus training.
Yeah, Healthy Dancer Canada has brought this up quite a bit, in that there's no regulatory board in Canada at all. So essentially, anyone can teach dance. Whereas most of the other athletic endeavors, swimming, gymnastics, they all require a certain level of coaching training, national coaching certification, in order for them to be doing that. But there can actually be dance teachers out there that have maybe never even taken a dance class but decided they wanted to be a dance teacher. There is no regulatory board. So it's important that you are recognizing that there is some training going involved to the teaching. And I think when you're teaching, it's important to notice, you're not just training the steps. There's psychological side of things. Anatomy and injury prevention is a huge topic. We want them to have strong, healthy bodies for their entire life and not be putting them at risk with anything that we're doing. So it's not just the steps we're teaching, it's that we're teaching them as holistically as we can, that we're taking into acknowledgement the whole body, the mind, the muscles as well.
There's more to a child than just the physical, right? There's all these other pieces. Their nutrition, which is huge, which I can't wait to bring in my dietitian friend for another interview soapbox, but also the psychological, and you're going to use different cues and teach that child differently, but it's just about all the things, right? And so Alia Alia has taken what is called the International Dance Teaching Standards Certification. And from what she's told me, and I'm really motivated to take this as well, it's an awesome way if you're a newer teacher or even a more experienced teacher to kind of add some more tools to your tool belt other than I know how to teach dance steps, which I'm sure you all do amazingly. This is all those other pieces that you should start to incorporate into your classroom other than, again, just the physical.
Yeah, there's a whole section on parents and how the interactions with those can go. And then it goes well with first aid, specifically in the dance classroom. If you're teaching a creative ballet class, age 3 and 4, and all of a sudden one kid starts having a seizure, how do you handle that? What do you do with the other kids in the classroom? So it's looking at things, not the what you're teaching, not the steps. It's a big book, and it's kind of covering all the different aspects of it. How to handle that difficult, outgoing child in class. How to handle the history teaching of dance. It also has different sections: anatomy, history, psychology. It's just a great reference for the other components of it. So not just the what you're teaching, but also the how and the why and the other part of it, right?
So definitely check it out. I'll have the website linked just after in the credits after this episode. So definitely check it out. There's always course offerings, and you can even put in your studio to host a course, which I think is awesome. And I think there's one coming up in Canada, I think early next year, but there's always opportunities to get this more in Canada.
Yeah, I think it's important to recognize too that most professions require a continuing education standard. Physiotherapy, just many certifications, many things that are governed by national boards require that every year you have so many hours of continuing education. And again, because we don't have any national board within the dance world, there's no one saying that you should be doing some continuing education every year to get fresh knowledge into your classes.
Yeah, and I think what makes a huge difference, so again, if you are a parent out there watching right now, just back to that registration piece, kind of look for teachers out there that are not only passionate, but they're doing dance teaching as a career, not just as an after-school hobby. And again, not to put a damper on student teachers. I think that's the place to kind of start to flourish that dance teacher craving, if that's your thing. But I find, just watching Alia too, because she's been at Rhythmic Souls Dance Academy for 10 years. And so I've kind of watched her start to mold her students into almost, we joke, like her little minions, really. But I think the key and why she's been so successful, and she is like an amazing choreographer, you have to see their pieces, but she was consistent. And it's the consistency and it's the dedication and finding teachers that you can just tell, they just light up when they talk about teaching. Lauren Ritchie, just to name another one, she is so inspiring. But these teachers do it as a career, which is huge. Versus if you have a studio, you see a lot of younger teachers, and you've seen a lot of turnover at the studio. I think that's maybe a sign that they're not getting that consistency, and it can be hard to see growth. Like literally molded them, taught them since they were 3, and then she's literally seen them to when they've graduated, which is huge, and not a lot of people have that opportunity. Yeah. But could you speak to that?
And I think it's important to acknowledge how important those younger years are. Like, they might be 3, and you might be just signing them up for their first class without really looking into anything. But, we're looking at gross motor, we're looking at coordination, developing muscles across the body, little things like the difference between frog jumps and snake slithers. And we're working the body in different ways to develop those motions that'll lead into their training later on. So, even when they're young, those foundational skills are so important to growing up. Like, honestly, when you've put in the effort to train the dancers when they're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, by the time they're 8, 9, 10, they have so many foundational skills programmed into their body that it makes the dance teaching easier in a sense, because they've already learned those coordination patterns and developed things a certain way when they were younger.